Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Wade, and I wanted to give you guys a quick update of my Porsche 996. Basically what happened is the car broke down a few weeks ago, and I kind of wanted to go over what happened and how much it cost me. So what happened was I was driving and I pulled over to get some gas, and I noticed that there was a trail of fluid leading up to the car, and I looked underneath, and sure enough there was coolant, or what looked to be coolant, dripping from the rear driver's side of the car. And I touched it and smelled it, and sure enough it was coolant. And I got the car home eventually. I had to pull over a couple times, open up the engine bay, and let the car cool down. The temperature did kind of go up a little bit, but I didn't let it overheat for too long. Just as soon as the temperature would go up, I would pull over and then open the engine bay and kind of let it cool down a little bit. So a long story short, I'll make this quick because it's just I just wanted to make a quick video. But I contacted my mechanic. He told me to bring it in as soon as I could. I had to get the car towed, and it was a holiday weekend, so there wasn't a lot of tow truck drivers on the road Saturday. Well, there was tow truck drivers, but they were busy with other cars, so it was hard to get a tow over the weekend. So I had to wait until the 4th of July. Luckily, the mechanic was open, and he fixed it for me. So what happened was, it was the water pump that went bad, and I guess it's a pretty common thing with these cars for the water pumps to fail. And he replaced some of the there's some components that needed replacing as well. There was a few gaskets. He did put a cooler temperature thermostat on the car, which is an upgrade. And I did notice that when I was driving the car home after picking it up from him, that the temperature does stay at a cooler temperature longer. It basically takes the car a little bit longer to get up to operating temperature. And I don't know if that's because of new coolant that's in the car, or if it's the thermostat. But yeah, so that's basically what happened. The total cost of doing all that was $1,782 and I believe like 20 cents or something like that. So this is not a good year for car expenses. I had 2 cars at one point, and I sold one about a month ago, and that was costing me a lot of money, had a lot of problems that I had to get fixed. And then with this car, nothing bad has happened, but I've spent a lot of money maintaining the car. And then what happened with the water pump, that was just wear and tear in the car. The car is getting old, so parts are starting to fail. So let me show you where on the car the coolant was leaking, and what had happened. All right, here we go. So here I am at my trusty spot. I like this parking lot because it is wide and open. Nobody's usually here. There's not a lot of people, and I got a lot of space here. So what happened was, I was filling up with gas, and I noticed that there was a trail leading up to the left side of the car of fluid, and I figured it was the condensation from the AC, but it looked like it was a little too much fluid for that. So I went underneath, and fluid was just pouring from this side. It was on the left side, and there was a huge puddle, and it was just gushing out to the left. And yeah, I smelled it, and that's when I realized that it was coolant, and that I've got to get the car home fast. On the way home, there was some steam coming out the back of the engine bay, and then that's when I would open up the bay and let the car cool down. And then I even pushed it at some point, because luckily I wasn't too far away from where I lived, so I was able to push the car a little bit wherever I could, and then finally got it home and then towed it. So, and when I opened the engine bay, I noticed that it looked like there was coolant that had splashed out from this side all over the engine bay on this side. And I thought it was a hose that had exploded or popped off or failed. And I looked over here to the coolant reservoir, and it was basically draining out right in front of me. And then here on the bottom, there was also coolant that had like sprayed out, and I think the fan was also, you know, spraying coolant everywhere in the engine bay as well. So yeah, that's what happened. And then back here it was all like dripping all over the bumper. So there you have it. Almost $2,000 later, I get the car back. I've spent a lot of money on cars this year, but hey, you know what? That's just cars. That's what happens when you own a car. Even if it's not a 911, things are gonna fail, especially if it's an older car. So I just wanted to kind of chronicle my 911 ownership and kind of let you guys know what are some of the things that could happen. Whether you own a 911 or you're thinking of getting into a 996, these are some of the things that can go wrong, and I want to kind of show you guys what it costs. So I will see you guys in the next video. Please comment, like, subscribe, and take care.